Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? For the people who are asking questions on the video, that's the time we're here live. Please, please come and ask your questions. I saw a lot of questions, okay, on that specific video. Please, please join us and ask questions. Give me one moment. I'm trying to figure something here. How are you feeling, first of all? Let me know in the comments. How are you feeling? How are you? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Okay. So how are you? I see somebody in the comment, a lot of questions, but this is the time you can ask it. Hello, music, Sour Music TV. I saw your consultation. I saw the phone call too, but you know, you already scheduled your consultation. Let's just wait for February 13, right? So we can have a proper consultation. Thanks for joining us this morning. Bonjour, Bijoux. Bonjour, Bella. Comment tu vas? Ça va? Merci d'être là ce matin. Who else? Good morning, Chorish Kadosh. Is that even a real name, by the way? Just curious. Good morning. I was just watching your video and good news for Salon approval. Congratulations. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us, okay? This lovely morning. Good morning, our Lord. Yes, you finally, right? Let's give him a hand of applause. Sour Music TV has finally scheduled his consultation. Okay, we're gonna have a good consultation. You're gonna get a lot out of it, and I hope to talk to you soon. Okay, from Oklahoma. Okay, I thought you were in Arizona. You keep changing states. That's interesting. Are you suspicious? Why you keep changing states just like that? Hello, Herman Wambo. Hello, I'm so happy for the family. Yes, yes, me too. Me too. My heart is full. It's really full. Um, I speak French, not a little bit. Sour Music TV. I speak French like fluently because I'm from the Congo, DRC Congo. French is like our official language, you know, based on colonization and all that shit. So I do speak French because I studied in French. I speak French, but I prefer English because, you know, I work in American courts, so we speak English here. Yeah. But anyway, I speak French. If French is your language, we're gonna speak in French during the consultation, okay? Hi, Bijoux. Hi, how are you? My job is CBP. Cash me on Friday. I was so scared. Oh my God. What the? Okay, so we talk about it. We talk about it. Do you also speak Lingala? Of course, Lingala is like, yeah, I was born speaking it. Of course, that I speak it. Yeah, of course I do. Anyway, I saw a lot of questions, but you know, I want to talk about ICE rate. ICE rate, everything you need to know. You have to know your rights. I really want to focus on that because I had 2 phone calls about ICE raids. I spoke with somebody yesterday. I was advising them on what to do, what not to do, and a lot of news going on, you know, internet, TikTok, everybody has their own opinion. But I really, from the legal perspective, I really want to talk about it today. Okay? So give me some time to elaborate more on it. Okay? And then we're going to talk about the latest immigration news. Then I'm going to offer consultation for those who need it. Then we're going to wrap up. Okay? So let's talk about that first. Know your rights. First of all, let's talk about ICE raids and know your rights. Let me pull up my know your rights. The one I came up with, it's much better than the one that is online. It's pretty concise. So let's talk about that. Let me pull my let me okay. Okay, let me put it a little bigger. So okay, so let me pull my screen. Let me share my screen so we can talk about the know your right thing. So okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. We're going to talk about it because it's like all over the place. Okay. I want a big one. Okay. Know your rights. Okay. You have to know your rights because I see all over the places sometimes because they have to meet the quota, you know, 75 arrests in each field office. Yeah, and sometimes they just get everybody in the mix of their arrests. So you have to know your rights, okay? If immigration authorities come to your house, what exactly can you do? First of all, you keep calm. It is in your best interest to not resist arrest. In case it happens, if they arrest you already, you cannot resist it, okay? Just have to keep calm and go with the flow. In most states, resisting arrest is illegal, even unlawful one. What's going to happen if you resist the arrest? What's going to happen is they're going to charge you with assaulting an officer. And remember, we have the Laken-Riley Act. Assaulting an officer, it's a crime, deportable offenses that requires mandatory detention. They just catch you with that. If you happen to be undocumented at the time they catch you with that type of charge, resisting arrest, yes, you're gonna be detained, mandatory, without bond. They're not gonna release you, and deportable. As a matter of fact, without hearing at this point. So just don't do it, okay? Do not open the door. What I mean by that is that keep your door shut. If they knock on your door, you don't have to open the door. Keep your door shut. They have to show you the search warrant. What exactly are you supposed to look in the search warrant? You're supposed to look of your name. If your name is there, has to be spelled correctly. If there's a mistake, then it's not you. Your name has to be there. The warrant has to be signed by a judge. You have to read it. You really have to read it. They have to slice it under your door. You have to read it. If the name, it's not your name, it's not signed by a judge, then you're not supposed to open the door. Okay, but if they enter your dog, if they enter your house without permission, verbally express that you did not give them permission. You have to say out loud, I did not give you permission to enter. You don't have a search warrant. I do not give you permission to enter. I don't give you permission to search me or my belonging. If you feel safe, you can record the entire scenario. do not answer any question. Assert your right to remain silent. Even if they have a search warrant, don't answer the question except because it's your name on it. The one identified to you, you can say, yes, it's me. But other than that, choose to remain silent. You have to say it. I choose to exercise my right to remain silent. Then you shut your mouth. That's it. But if you answer question, do not lie to immigration authorities. You cannot lie. That will be misrepresentation. Do not sign any document without the presence. You don't have to, without the presence of your lawyer, and ask to speak with a lawyer. That's your right. Okay, that's your right to counsel. Do not agree to anything without the presence of your attorney. Basically, that's what you have to know. Okay. On top of that, I wanted to add two things. Because of expedited removal, it has been expanded. ICE can raid schools. They can raid basically workplaces, churches, and stuff like that. What exactly are you supposed to have as document? If you have a valid work permit, you have to have a valid work permit. Okay. On top of, if you don't have a valid work permit, but you have an approval notice, for example, you have VAWA approved, you have to have that approval notice because VAWA is a deferred action. If the person has been granted VAWA, they cannot deport them regardless of the order of removal because it's a deferred action. Okay, you have to have it. If you have a case pending, you have to have the receipt of your case pending. And if you've been here for more than 2 years, let's say 2 years and a half, you have to have documents showing that you've been here for more than 2 years, so they don't take you into those expedited removal if you have a case pending. Okay. Valid work permit, receipt notices showing that you have a case pending, because the right thing to have right now under this current this Trump era arena, as I call it, Trump 2.0, you have to have, the best place to be is to have a case pending somewhere. That's the best place you can be. A case pending somewhere. It might save you. If you have a case pending somewhere, it might save you. At least you have something to defend yourself with. That's why you have to carry out your receipt. Okay. So I'm going to share another thing for ICE raid in schools, soft areas, stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about this first, then take questions, then come back to it again, then talk about the latest immigration news, and then talk about consultation and stuff like that. Okay. Let me take questions first. Okay. Questions. Ok, c'est bonne nouvelle. Nous donne aussi l'espoir. Je donne aussi depuis 10 ans. Yes, basically what you have to do, you have to follow up you can get the congressman involved, so you can follow up. Basically, this person saying that he already did the interview and he does not have a response. So what I'm advising him is to follow up with congressman office, ombudsman office. Just try to get somebody, or your lawyer if you have one, to follow up with them, because they have, after an interview, they only have 180 days to give you the answer. But sometimes they give the answer within 90 days or 120 days. But if it passes 180 days, you have the right to sue them for that answer. So those are the things you have to know. Okay. Who else? If you have a question, please put it in the comments, because people come up with the question after. So put the questions in the comments so we can answer those questions while I'm looking for another tip for ICE. Okay. Looking for another tip for ICE raid. Hold on, I saw it yesterday. ICE raid in soft area. ICE raid guidance for schools. Okay. I want to share these resources. You can take this resource How does the health of the child help in expedite one case? I mean, if the child is sick, it has to be some type of serious sickness. If it's just like IP type of program, that's not really something serious. If the child is sick, then you can basically tell them that, well, my child is sick. Can you expedite my case so I can get a green card, so I can have a better job, so I can support my child? That's basically how it works. That way I can have better health insurance. Then I'll put my child under my insurance. Then I can support my child. That's how it works, to expedite the case. But sometimes the green card really doesn't get that much expedite. Usually it's the form I-130, I-489, I-765, VAWA, I-360. With the green card, they usually want you to wait for the case to become like either to wait on the line. But you can try. It's free, especially if you're trying to congressman office. So how long it takes to respond if you have filed I-485? That's going to depend on what center, where. We had the case that we just filed, and this is I-130. Sorry, this is not I-485, but this is I-130 of a lawful permanent resident. They already sent us. We filed this case in December or September. Look like we filed the case in September. Before Trump come to power, we filed it in November. Yeah, November. And guess what? They already gave us we filed it in November, I believe November 3rd. They already sent us a letter for the interview. And I'm confused. And I am like a little bit, that's like almost like a bad sign for a lawful permanent resident to be called for the interview too early. Looks like maybe they found something on this person. That's my feeling. I already feeling bad because it's like almost bypassing even those US citizens. Yeah, I was just like in November. That's like November, December, basically December, January, February, 3 months. 3 months. Already an interview. I'm like, I don't understand this problem. But anyway, we're gonna go there. We work complex cases, and I'll let you know how it goes. Right? I'll let you know for sure. Even if it doesn't go our way, I'll let you know so you will know what not to do. Because I have a feeling about this case that is not good. Maybe they have something about the person, like from his visa outside of the US when he applied for the visa. So yeah, I'll let you know. So to answer the question, I don't know. It's just going to depend on what center. You can check online. It tells you at least estimate. You have an estimate in mind. Attorney of complex cases. Of course, that's me. That's me right there. Type 2 diabetes, extreme hardship to motion to reopen BIA. Yeah. Yeah, you can try with that argument. Especially if the person is going because if you reopen a case sua sponte with BIA after the case has been already closed, ICE refused to join, you're just really basically opening after the deadlines and you don't meet any exception. You really have to show not even extreme, exceptional circumstances. That's just very high in comparison to extreme hardship. And when you open that case, you want to try to talk about the person has type 2 diabetes. That's a good case, I believe, in my opinion. It's just going to depend how it's presented, especially if the person is getting regular treatment that requires good health insurance and stuff like that. You can make a good case. BIA might be tempted to reopen the case, So go for it. It's worth a try. That's what I want to say. Okay, let me share these resources for ICE with you. Then we're gonna move on to the latest immigration news. Let me share this resource. Let me share the resource first. I'll get back to the questions later. Okay, since we're talking about ICE rate, there's this where you can get the resources for Trump 2.0. Okay, this for schools rate. Okay, just get the website. I'm putting the link. If you happen to have undocumented children, you really have to make sure you read this. I'm not gonna go over it, but really make sure you read it for your own good. How you can get immigration policies rapidly changing. President Trump's second term, we will do our best to keep educated and updated as possible. You need to read those articles. That's how you will know how to act accordingly when it comes to school grades. Let me put the link here. That's the link. You really have to, if you know somebody who has undocumented children, or if yourself you have undocumented children, this is a good resources coming from a nonprofit organization, Immigrant Connection, supporting educator and organization. So basically, they're giving us resources on how to act. Read it for yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna go through it because I already talked about know your rights. But this is specific for school grades. And sometimes in Maryland, basically, some people are telling, if I have clients in Maryland and I know that ICE is going to raid somewhere, I'll let them know, because sometimes I get emails from the Immigration Association telling us, giving us some, some hints, stuff like that. So let me stop right. No, let me go to latest immigration news. Let's see how many policies we have here. Okay. 110 policy actions. You already have this one, right? Let me give it to you again. Where you track policies, at least you stay up to date with policies. So you are aware, really, because crazy out there. Anyway, we have 110 policy actions. Yeah, this is major. We're gonna see those cases being approved like never before. Asylum cases. This is major. Okay. You are acting director reinstates policy directing immigration judges to adjudicate asylum claim within 180 days. Basically, asylum cases in immigration court is not going to take that long anymore for them to come up with a decision. 6 months, you know where you stand. Okay. On February 3rd, the EOR acting director issues a memo presenting this other memo directing immigration judge to complete adjudication of asylum application within 180 days, the maximum extent practicable, like 6 months. The memo, basically, if you have a case coming up nowadays, just know that in 180 days you will know where you stand. So the memo chart that good cause does not necessarily in any case constitute exceptional circumstances that justify exceeding. So even if sometimes, we continue the case for good cause, but what they're saying here, that's because it's not exceptional circumstances. So they have to really do it within 180 days. Yeah, and then the memo discusses calculation of 180-day asylum ID clock. That we know, right? Proper adjournment code and which party should fault it for delay of adjudication. So this is really major. This is really major. So we're gonna see at least some movement in court system, which is good. At least people have been. It's good and bad depending on if the case is strong or not. But at least you get an answer, right? You want to know. Let's see what else we have here. Director reinstate restrictive rules on asylum processing and clock. I know asylum is going to be really becoming hard. Okay, this is what the memo says. The court not to accept an affirmative asylum application referred by USCIS unless it contains all the supporting documents. Reiterates that defensive asylum application need no longer be filed in person during a hearing and stresses new rule regarding the filing of incomplete application. So basically, when you're filing asylum, you have to be like, boom. Emphasize asylum claim must be adjudicated within 180 days and directing immigration judge to stop the asylum clock only when there are exceptional circumstances, okay? Not good cause. So they can't continue the case unless there's exceptional circumstances, like somebody's sick, seriously sick. That's when you can ask for motion to continue your case. Characterizing AOR as housing the employment authorization clock for the convenience. That's so true. The memo especially prohibits judges from inquiring whether the respondent wants an expedited hearing for the purpose of the clock. So basically, if your clock is already ticking and you haven't been given the asylum, that's on you. Oh my gosh, that one works. The way it works is basically you file for asylum, the 180 days hasn't got there, and your case has already been denied by USCIS. Then you go to the court, the clock stops. Basically, you're not going to get a work permit until they actually decide on the case. That's basically what it says. Okay, that's really bad. They can't postpone the case because the person failed to provide biometric. Restate the rule for proper notice filings by USCIS. Wow. So that clock does not honor the judge into decision. Wow. So that's what I said. Basically, if they haven't decided, the 180 days hasn't lapsed and you haven't gotten your work permit, pretty much over, right? Until they actually decide on the case. Let me see what else. This is the asylum. I'm going to come back to talk about it. I'm going to make specific videos for the asylum because too much is going on. Continuous only if there's good cause, exceptional circumstances. No, not good cause, sorry, exceptional circumstances. Yeah, I aim to lower detention standard to increase the use of state jail. They're going to use state jail now. Yeah, and those we already know, right? Yeah, we already know. ICE is going to be the one to decide on stay or removal cases. It's just getting more challenging. Let me stop right here and try to find something else. It's just getting more challenging. I'm going to talk about the asylum on other videos because I have to go over that once I get time, probably next week. I might talk about asylum, specifically of the new rules. What else? Let's see. I wanted to see if I have another immigration news before I take questions. It's just getting more challenging, I guess. Yeah. They're gonna go after fraud like never before. Yeah. What else? Let me see this one. Fraud. I'll talk about this one. fraud. Let's see what they're talking about. Yeah, asylum fraud. So we're gonna see a lot of frivolous claim decisions because of because of fraud. Yeah, they're gonna really investigate. They're gonna investigate everybody and the lawyer and the applicant. If you have a baseless asylum, yeah, it's gonna be really difficult. But anyway, so let me stop here. Okay, let's take questions. By the way, please like, please share, okay? Please like, please share so we can continue talking about immigration purposes. This is, by the way, this is a band for, maybe you're wondering what she has on her head. This is a band for cancer, like, you know, if you want to donate to the Cancer Society, because I went to a marathon last year. I'm going to do it again this year. So for people who are suffering with cancer and stuff like that, you can donate and run a marathon. So that's why I usually wear it, just in support of the good cause. You might be wondering, like, oh my gosh, what she has here. Because you never know. You never know if people will be wandering everywhere. Okay, let's see. Question. Okay, can you still apply for your kids even if haven't responded to your I-485? I don't think so. If you are the one who has to get I-485, if you're getting it through marriage, then the spouse can apply for. If the spouse is a U.S. citizen, then the spouse can apply for the children, even if they're stepchildren. But if it's you, the only one who has to get a green card, then you have to wait until you actually get it. So unless it's like asylum, you want asylum, and then the children want asylum as well. Now it's time to apply for the green card, then everybody's gonna apply. So thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. What is the change family immigration for? Ahmed, I don't know. I don't really follow those preferences category. Yeah, I really deal with people in immigration proceedings, removal proceedings, and then some employment base and family matter, like immediate family reunification step. So I don't really follow through. You just have to go to the visa bulletin and check. I don't know. It takes forever. No heir on asylum unless adjudicated. No. That's not what I'm saying, Huri. I'm saying that if the 180 days hasn't passed, and if they decide on your case earlier, then you can't get the work permit until the adjudication. Because usually the case is pending and the 180 days, they haven't made a decision, then you file for work permit. But if the decision, let's say you file today and USCIS calls you in 1 month, like in March, and you go there within 30 days, USCIS give you a decision, and then the case gets referred to court, the clock stops. At that point, you're just gonna wait until the day you get a decision. So that's what I'm saying. Still take 1 year or more all cases. Well, they told BIA to start doing those motion in 90 days. I don't know if they're gonna do it. If this new memo, everybody has to be deciding, like, especially BIA. I heard the memo, they say within 90 days and 180 days, they have to come up with a decision. I've seen a response in 30 days. Last time I filed on the 27th of, because we filed in what is called interlocutory appeal, the one you file before the end of the case, because you want to preserve some issues. We filed it on December 27. We got a response on January 27, 30 days. And the reasoning is that it's just because they said that we have to wait until the final decision. But now what they're saying is that they have to basically the immigration judges has to decide the case within 180 days. As far as BIA is concerned, I read somewhere it says 90 to 180 days they have to make a decision. So I don't know moving forward. I don't know about other cases, past cases. Yeah, you're gonna see decision faster. That's what I'm saying because I've seen it. I'm seeing decision faster nowadays. But if you were approved for VAWA, I think you should apply for your children as well, if they're minors, because their two were approved. When you were approved, their two were approved, right? Yeah, I to be honest, I never came across that specific issues. So to be honest, I don't know. You're gonna have to research that. You will have to research that. You really have to research that. Yeah, because my assumption is that if you get it's like an asylum application, basically. You get approved, the children were dependent, then when you get an approval, after 1 year, you apply for green card, and the entire family are eligible to apply for green card. So I'm assuming that for VAWA should be the same. Yeah, you're gonna have to research. Don't take me on my words, because I've never came across that specific issue. I really don't know how it's gonna play out. You're gonna have to research on that. No, no, no. Worry. That's not what I said when I was saying. Pretty much I was pretty much clear. Like I was clear that this basically that's just how it has been to start with. It's just like now they want to have a book, a whole book, and they want to follow through with it. It always has been like that. If a person apply for asylum and they get the decision before receiving the work permit, then the clock stops. They have to wait until when their asylum is going to get approved. So yes, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know if you're the one who didn't understand me properly. That's what I said. It always has been like that. It's just that it's in the rule. That's exactly, I didn't say they're not gonna give it. I said the clock stops if you did not get your asylum. If you get your asylum denied prior to receiving a work permit, the clock stops. It has always been that. And that's exactly what I said. So, yeah, you're the one who didn't understand me correctly. It's to delay processing time for green card based on asylee. Oh, interesting question. Interesting question. Interesting question. Well, the way I will proceed is this, right? The way I'll do it is this. I will, first of all, I'll look at the timeline online. What is the exact timeline? What is because they at least they give you an estimate. We're gonna process the asylum based on we're gonna process the green card based on work permit um within that specific time, right? They give you at least an estimate, right? So then based on that estimate, if you feel like your case has been pending longer than that, then you can sue USCIS. Some people even sue regardless of the estimate, but I personally wouldn't do it because I don't want, because people are spending to sue, right? I don't want the chance 50-50. I have to be at least 75% sure that if we sue, it's going to work in our favor. So the way I will process it, I will go online and look at the estimates that they have. Let's say they say it has to take only 15 months, and then now it's been pending for 3 years. Yes, I'll sue. Okay, that's how I'll do it. if you're already in the U.S., a U.S. brother can file for his brother. They can file, but the thing is, will the brother get a green card? That's if they are lawfully present, if they continue to maintain their lawful status. If they don't, then they won't. Yeah. Kidshood, I think we've already answered your questions. Okay. When it comes to employment base, I-130 from lawful permanent. Okay, when you want to get a green card based on employment base, when the asylum is pending, basically, depending on when you file asylum, you can always make an argument, right? I filed my asylum prior to the expiration of my visa, which is within the 6 months. Then you can make an argument. Is it going to work? Depending on circuits. Some circuit, they don't entertain that. It's just going to get denied because it's employment based. And asylum pending is not the status. So we already answered that question. So if you file for waiver of unlawful presence and you go through consular processing, that just depends too, right? If because some people have filed for unlawful presence waiver. Remember, under that unlawful presence waiver came under Obama, and some people have filed for that too. And when they go to consular processing too, sometimes they get denied, and you wonder why. So it's just gonna depend. It's just there's no like clear cut answer to that. But adjustment of status in the US is just going to get denied because of failure to maintain lawful status. But as far as consular processing is concerned, if you get I-601A waiver approved, then, probably. Uri, I don't understand what you're saying. Okay? I don't understand what you're saying, changing policy. Yeah, you read it. You read it. You read it. What they're saying about basically, yeah, you just go ahead and read it because I can't go back to it. There's change in policy. Of course, there's change in policy. When it comes to asylum, there's strict rules in policy. As I said before when I was talking, I said that I'm gonna make a separate video because I have to go back to it and make a separate video when it comes to asylum and the work permit and stuff like that. But the rule has already been like that. So if you feel like I say something wrongly, then yes, go ahead and read it. That's why I put those link here, right? So you can go ahead and read it, okay? But I'm gonna come back next week with a specific video on asylum and what are the exact changes, because there's a lot of changes. What I was talking about is just like in general. So if you feel like something was not talked properly, then go back and read it. Read it. They clearly say that the judge has to decide within 180 days. That's just period. You can't continue the case until there's exceptional circumstances. If you can't just continue the case because of good cause, you have to show exceptional circumstances. That's the change. That's a major change. What are the changes of getting T visa? And if you have have a good case, you get T visa. If you have a good case, you get T visa. Yeah, you get T visa. Don't worry. If they hold you, you cannot resist arrest. You just have to exercise your right to remain silent and ask them to talk to a lawyer. You cannot resist. If they already get you, you cannot resist arrest. I said you're not supposed to open the door unless they show you the search warrant that has your name on it, of course, and signed by the judge. If there's no search warrant, why are you supposed to open the door? Sometimes they just, yeah, you can't just avail yourself if there's no search warrant. In order for somebody to come inside of the house, they have to search. They have to have a search warrant, unless you give them permission yourself, you know, can really end birthright. Well, as far as birthright is concerned, there's a judge in Maryland that stopped it. Let me go back to that story. Yeah, there's a judge who stopped it. National injunction. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, let me go back to it. Let me go back to that. Yeah, I forgot about it. I posted on my IG. I forgot about it. But let me go back to it. Hold on. Yeah, judge issues nationwide injunction blocking Trump bid to end birthright citizenship. So basically, it's on pause. Can he terminate that? I don't know. I don't think so because it has to go all the way to the Supreme Court for them to decide. A federal judge in Maryland, we love Maryland, yeah, has issued a national preliminary injunction against President Trump executive order ending birthright citizenship. USCIS District Judge Deborah Boardman heard argument Wednesday over a request by 5 pregnant undocumented women to block Trump executive seeking to redefine the meaning of the amendment to execute the children of undocumented immigrants. Yeah, so it's on pause. Yeah, it's on pause basically. Yeah, it's on pause. I don't know. I never came across that problem. You can amend it, but I've never came across a case where I have to add more documents. I just submit everything at the same time. Just, I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Can Trump give to? I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna do, what it's not gonna do. You always have those questions. Take all and or treasury funding to all citizens. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I clearly don't know. Let's just wait and see how it's going. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, do we have any more questions? I don't think we have any more questions. I think I answered all questions about asylum. I'll come back to it next week. I'll make videos next week to explain those changes because I have to go over them again because Trump is making asylum really difficult with those new changes. I'm gonna come back to it. As I said, remember the other Huri was saying that I'm not saying it properly. But anyway, I'm gonna come back to it with a specific video on it. Or are you back again? Or are you gonna kill me? Or are you going to kill me? Ori, by the way, I'm gonna come back next week. Don't worry about this policy changes. I'm gonna come back because today I'm too busy. I went over it, but I'm gonna come back next week. I'll make small like piece of video explaining each asylum policy because most of my clients are like humanitarian. So it's in my interest and the best interest of my client for me to explain to them those policy changes. So I'll come back to it. So don't worry about it. What I'm saying is in general, it has been restricted 180 days, they have to come up with a decision, okay? No more continuance unless there's exceptional circumstances. That's those two changes. As far as work permit is concerned, I only remember the old rule was USCIS once the decision comes before the work permit, you have to wait until the final decision before you get the work permit. So I'm gonna come to it next week because this weekend I'm resting, okay? I'll come to it next week with a specific, okay? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'll come to it next week with specifics. Okay, so Rory is asking for a friend. USCIS sponsoring parent that overstay visa, said parent work for 20 years under fraudulent. Would they need a waiver? If what kind of waiver? Oh, did the USCIS say that? If USCIS said that, because in order for you to apply for the waiver, USCIS has to tell you that. They have to bring it up to you like you did something fraudulent, then you need a waiver. But remember, waiver of fraud, you're gonna need, there's only two people who qualify as relative. The I-601 waiver of fraud, only two people qualify as relative, parent of US citizen or lawful permanent resident, or spouse of US citizen or lawful permanent resident. If it's the parent that are filing for the green card and they don't have either their own parent, lawful permanent resident or US citizen, and they don't have spouses, lawful permanent resident or US citizen, then the waiver is not going to be granted. That's it. Remember, waiver, you have to meet statutory requirement first. So this is a bad case. Yeah, I can tell you that. Yeah, for me, they just have to wait until USCIS tell them to bring a waiver. Because if you, because yeah, this is a bad case, bad news for them. Because they don't have a qualifying relative for the purpose of applying for a waiver. Their child cannot apply. They cannot apply for a waiver under their child because the child is not qualified for that specific type of waiver. Only two categories qualify to be claimed under that waiver, so to speak. Yeah, that's bad, really bad. I had a case like that. Yeah, I tried to explain my way out of it, but no, USCIS was like, no, you don't have a qualifying relative for the purpose of waiver. Yeah, so it was a US citizen too, who was applying for the parent, and then USCIS sent a. Actually, they came to me after the fact. If they came to me before, I could have just told them you don't need to even apply because you don't have a qualifying relative for the purpose of waiver. But anyway, they apply on their own, and then they came to me. Try to explain to them, but people don't listen. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna try to make an argument that it wasn't fraud, and hopefully USCIS will agree. So we tried that argument, didn't work. They just went with you don't have a qualifying relative for the purpose of waiver because it's a parent who's applying for the green card. If it was a child that is applying for the green card, then the child will use the parent who's a US citizen or lawful permanent resident. But if it's a parent that who's applying for the green card, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they don't have a qualifying relative for that specific waiver. It's not going to work. Vara TV, what country are you under TPS? What country? What country? Because some country they will renew TPS. They're not going to end TPS for every country. Trust me. It's impossible for them to renew TPS for every country. To cancel for every country. Some country will still have TPS. What country, first of all? At least we'll have an idea if he's planning to cancel TPS for that country. But what about if you're a citizen and you want to bring your mom? But what did your mom say do? You file for I-130, right? When it's approved, then you go to consular processing. Is there some issues of misrepresentation? Yeah, Baba, is there some some issues of misrepresentation? Baba, are you the one who I already sent a consultation link before? Let me send you another consultation link because I feel like I've sent you a consultation link before. Let me send you another consultation link. So first of all, in order to know there's misrepresentation, when you file a case, right, depending on the way you answer the case, USCIS, they usually do their own investigation. If they find that there is misrepresentation in the case, then they will send you a request for evidence or notice, either request for evidence or notice of intent to deny. And they'll suggest that you file a waiver. But before you file a waiver, first you have to know if you even qualify for the waiver, because you might not even need to file a waiver if you don't qualify. It's because it's just a waste of money. When it comes to misrepresentation, only two people qualify as relative, parent or spouse. So now if it's the parent himself who needs a waiver of misrepresentation and they don't have a spouse or a parent who's a US citizen or lawful permanent resident, then the waiver is not going to be granted. Then it doesn't even matter where should you respond. You can try to explain to yourself if it wasn't fraud. That's what we tried, but it didn't work out because they say it is fraud and you need a waiver and we don't have a qualifying relative, then case denied, you see. So that's the link, okay? Just schedule your consultation so we can discuss your options. At least you will know whether or not what to do, what not to do. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we are done. One, please, by the way, please like and share. By the way, please like and share. I'll come back next week. I know it's Thursday. I'll come back only next week because I have to rest. It's been a tough week. I'll come back next week with videos. I'll make videos explaining the new rules under asylum. Those are the video I'll come back with. But if you follow me either on TikTok or Instagram, I can break the news over there as well. If there's a new thing going on, okay? So thank you very much. Please like, please share. If you need a consultation with me, just please schedule it. Consultation link is in the bio. Thank you, Music TV, for scheduling your consultation. Thank you, Baba, for attempting to schedule. Thank you, Uri, for coming with your challenging questions. Thank you, Shalk Chorhi, for a lot of questions that I don't have answer to. Thank you, Jazz. Who else we're gonna ask here? Smith Bondia, thank you for showing up. Mohammed, thank you, thank you. Everybody, thank you for coming. Okay. Until next time, bye bye. Please like, please share. By the way, please like, please share. Next week I'll bring clarification on those asylum new policies. Thank you very much.